Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 7, Episode 3. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, the producer is playing dumb, okay? Playing in Candiace's face, talking about, why you telling me? You know exactly why she's telling you, because y'all gonna cut up bits and pieces and create your own narrative. Let's not play crazy, okay, Eric? So Giselle goes back to the group, right? So Ashley is like, is she okay? Here go Giselle. I mean, I think so. Girl, hush. You know what you did. And they're going to try to go on, slither on back to the group like you didn't do nothing. So he's like, well, I can't control what they say, just like I can't control what you say. So Candiace is letting him know that Michael, they accused him of all kinds of stuff, but welcome him with open arms. They want to serve him tea and crumpets, roll out the red carpet. But Chris, who's been nothing but nice and accommodating to these heifers, they want to stir up some mess about him making them feel uncomfortable. He's like, well, I mean, I'm sure you all have said things about each other. She said, yes, I've said things that are true. And so she's getting ready to leave. She said, look, do not cut out my fourth wall, and I ain't playing with y'all, okay? I said what I said, and I ain't changing it. Keep it in there, all of it. Child, I know that's right. Because they're going to try to edit it, honey, to play in your face. So you might as well go ahead and let them know. So she walks right on past the heifers and she leaves. Not a goodbye, not I'm gone, not see you later, or arrivederci. Don't come back around here no more. Candiace is just gone, okay? Gone. And she ain't about to drive back, pun intended. So Wendy's out there telling them about the lounge library that she's trying to open. Girl, ain't nobody coming to this Nigerian lounge library, child. She was like, yeah, I'm going to open it up with Peter. And so Sharice was like, well, I mean, you have to live in your restaurant. So Wendy is basically saying, well, girl, I'm only going to get 20%. So I ain't living in our restaurant for no 20%. Okay, that ain't going to be able to go on. So Ashley was like, well, what is Eddie saying? Like, is your relationship going to suffer because of it? Well, honey, you know Ashley would know, especially after her and Michael were having a Thunder Down Under restaurant. Or whatever that Aussie themed restaurant name was. The Australian bar or whatever it was, child. It was... Child, not the Thunder Down Under. Oh, honey, that's an all-male review in Vegas. Oh, child, I'm a fool. Anywho, Ashley would know because her and Michael was out there fussing in that parking lot. Y'all remember that season? I think it was season 3, honey. Out there fussing in that parking lot when they were mad about their restaurant, child. So Wendy said Eddie doesn't even want her to do the restaurant because she already cannot handle what she has going on now. So then Giselle is like, so Mia, I texted you because, you know, at the spring fling, I feel like things totally went left and I actually like you. So I just want to clear the air. So here go Robyn. Why don't y'all go in another room? That's weird. Just go in another room. What's weird about them speaking to each other? Rob, fall back, girl. Anyway, so they get up and excuse themselves, honey, with a whole tray of cupcakes. They gone on to the left. So Ashley's like, well, I feel like Giselle is being thrown under the bus when we all share the same sentiment. Well, no, okay, Ashley, I would agree, but Giselle threw herself under the bus, hopping off that stool, being tacky in the lady's face, talking about, is this what cancer, no cancer look like? Giselle did that on her own. Now, if you want to get involved with it, then you can, but Giselle owes Mia an apology just for that. So Wendy was like, well, I mean, one of my friends has just passed away from cancer. I'm giving Mia the benefit of the doubt. Okay, I need more information. I just want to see what it's all about. So Robyn feels like she's going through something, but the message is very confusing. She's like, I'm confused by these posts because you don't say you're going to the cancer center and then a week later you don't follow it up with like something. You just come back like nothing ever happened. So inside the room with Giselle, Mia is telling her, you know, I never expected you to attack me in a group setting. Girl, why? I was going to ask, are you new? But honey, you are new. But Giselle pounces whenever she feels like it. Girl, not you expected anything different. Oh, Mia. So she was like, I was really hurt because, you know, it's my health. And I expected that from new booty Wendy, but she didn't even do it. So Giselle is grinning. Mia, let me get you together real quick. Let's not go there, okay? You have an entirely different head, okay? From the eyes on down. I saw you on an episode of Yes to the Say Yes to the Dress, and you looked totally different before you went start injecting and blowing up and plumping up and all this other kind of stuff. Please leave that lady alone, okay? Just like you came in on episode 1 when you were introduced to the ladies talking about you got a clitotomy or clitorotomy or whatever, honey, to reduce your size of your whatever. Leave Wendy alone. Let her do what she gonna do with her butt. And you do what you do with your vagina. Moving forward. Outside, Wendy is like, well, I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, because I'm just confused. So Robyn is wondering if that's the case, because why did she put it on her, Giselle, asking what they said? She was like, you was over there saying, what did those two say? What did those two say? Wendy said, I didn't even say your name. Child, Robyn's still mad from last season when Wendy cleared her. Robyn, you're going to have to get over it, okay? This is a clear case of the same thing that Giselle and Robyn did to Monique. Once you have a target on your back and they want you out, you will be out by any means necessary. And so Robyn is not letting go of that bone, but she's willing to sit down with online Mia, but she don't want to have nothing to do with Wendy when y'all were in the wrong. Y'all were attacking her marriage. Like, girl, anyway. So Robyn is like, well, you don't have to say my name. It was implied. I know that you're talking about me without you saying my name. So Wendy goes, well, I don't understand the aggression that's coming towards me. So Robyn is like, well, we have the same sentiment. Wendy said, no, I did not call her a liar. You called her a liar. I didn't call her a liar. Back in the room with Giselle and Mia, Mia's like, well, I mean, if you have any concern, please bring it to me. Like, don't go around the Mayberry bush. What's a Mayberry bush? Now, I do remember Mayberry, but that was a city on the Andy Griffith Show. I don't remember going around the Mayberry bush, but I do know that some people go around the mulberry bush. Girl, goodbye. Girl, shut up and goodbye. Shut up and goodbye. So eventually Gizzard apologizes. You need to apologize to Candiace as well, okay? Don't be just sitting up here apologizing to Mia. You need to apologize to Candiace for what you're saying about her husband, okay? And that's just that on that. So outside, Robyn is still fussing. Wendy is like, you called her a liar. And so Robyn is like, I never did. And so then Wendy's like, stand in your truth. Robyn takes it literally and actually stands up. Girl, have a seat. So she starts coming towards Wendy. She's like, sit down. Robyn, sit your goofy tail self down, girl. She didn't even say y'all's names. Like, yeah, she was talking about y'all, but she was just trying to get an understanding, like, did they both say it or did Giselle just say it? Like, she just wants to know what's going on. See, Wendy, that's why Candiace didn't want to go over there. You should have just left it alone and stayed over there talking to Candiace, because now Robyn has any little thing to pick about. So you should just left her alone. This is reminding me of when Robyn ran up on Monique, when Monique had that umbrella. Robyn be ready to rumble. Wendy, this ain't what you want, honey. You might want to rethink some things. So then Mia and Gizzard, they rejoin the group. They slither on in and sit down. So Robyn is steady coming at Wendy. So finally she sits down, child, after all the hoopla. And Ashley was like, Mia, are you okay? So have they ruled out cancer? So Mia said, yeah, they did. But I still have some lumps. I have a swollen lymph node. And I'm getting it removed in August. So now everybody knows that cancer has been ruled out. So Robyn tells Mia that she wants to get to know her better. So then she proceeds to ask if the women's kids are on spring break, right? And I already knew where this was going. She's planning a fun day with the women and their children. She invited everybody but Wendy. I thought that was petty and I thought it was tacky. Now, I don't care what nobody got to say. It was petty and it was tacky. Wendy said, well, for kids, that's why I draw the line. Like, I feel like it's a character flaw, inviting other people's children and purposely not inviting mine. I think it's ridiculous if you want to know the real. But at the same time, be glad that your children were not invited. I don't want my children around nobody that don't like me, honey. You're not about to pinch and scratch, and I don't care if I am there. I don't want people mistreating my kids. So it's probably best that they didn't go. The two of you don't like each other. If she doesn't like the parent, then she should not invite the kids. But Robyn, that was tacky as hell for you to sit there and invite all these ladies and not invite her in front of her. You could have waited. It was very high school and very mean girl of you to do that in front of her. So then Ashley said, well, why did Candiace leave? So Giselle gonna talk about, I think her stomach was hurting. Candiace, take notes, honey, that nobody checked on you after you left. Nobody sent you a text. Nobody ran out to see why you were leaving. None of that. Just keep a mental note, okay? Moving forward. So they all getting ready to leave. And Wendy tells Mia, goodbye. Everybody's saying goodbye to each other. Outside, The producer is still producing. They were like, what's up, Z and Win? And she was like, oh, what's up, honey? So how are you with Mia? She's like, I'm fine. I mean, besides Karen, I'm really the only one giving her the benefit of the doubt, even though we all know she lying. Wendy, the mic is hot. The mic is hot. Hot, hot. The mic is hot. Girl, the mic is still on. So basically, Wendy done called Mia a liar. So now, Wendy, you got to say, I didn't call Mia a liar to her face. You and Robyn fussing, and you think she a lie too. Girl, don't worry, honey. I think she got a little lying problem as well, honey. And I ain't taking it back. And I ain't apologizing to her for it. Mia don't do nothing but lie. Mia lie a little bit later on this episode as well. Which leads me to believe her fussing with that friend all over the internet is some more lies being told, honey. She just lied. And I guess Gizzard was not the only one. In the next scene, it's 3 hours later, and Candiace is at home about to do an injection. And so she's on FaceTime with her nurse. So she's a little sad because she has to do it by herself because Chris is at work, but that's the day that the doctor wants it done. Well, girl, listen, it's going to be a lot of things that you're going to have to do by yourself with a husband that works in hospitality. It is going to be very, very tough for him to just be off. Now, it's sad to say, but it's the truth. So, I mean, I just hope she's ready for that. So she gets it done. It wasn't that bad, and she was relieved that she finally did it. And she was like, I'm supposed to be stress-free, and Giselle accusing Chris of that is not helping me, and she knows exactly what I'm going through. She was like, I just feel like I got too comfortable with her. I knew it was only a matter of time before she turned on you. In the next scene, Karen and Ray, they go get manicures. Baby, Karen doing a lot of scenes with Ray. Honey, she do not want to be around them ladies because she do not want to be around Sharice. She don't want to be around the heifers. She done filmed like 5 or 6 scenes with Ray. And normally we don't see Ray. He come on down his suit. He tip on from side to side, giving very much penguin. And he gonna disappear, child. But not this season. So they sitting down, they getting the manicures and whatnot. And Karen said, she was sad to miss the TikTok class, but she had a 102 fever and her national treasure is at home, which is Ray. Child, Ray went from the Black Bill Gates to a national treasure. And Karen gonna give some zhuzh to Ray's nickname if she don't do nothing else. So as they're getting pampered, Karen is asking Ray if he feels jealous of her keeping herself up. So baby, Ray spilling the tea. He's like, well, I mean, you've always been attracted to other men and they've been attracted to you, vice versa. But say what now? She said, well, you said I can have eye candy. Karen, what is this? What is this, ma'am? It's giving arranged marriage. It's giving a marriage of convenience. It's giving, come on in because Ray had a little bit of change. Girl, what is happening? I'm starting to think Ashley was probably telling the truth a few seasons back when y'all was in that Sprinter van and she said you hated Ray's penis. I don't know now, Karen, honey. See, this is why you don't shoot that much with Ray because he don't know what he should say and what he should. He talking too much. Oh, child, this is a fool. Anyway, it wasn't much today scene, honey. Karen looking stunned, honey. She was too stunned to speak, and Ray spilling the tea. In the next scene, Ashley and her brother, they go to look at a house. And, she said every time she goes to look at one, somebody puts in a cash offer and they snatch it from up under her. Girl, join the club. That is what they are doing all over the country. They're coming from different places with the money already saved up. If the cost of living is a little bit cheaper or even just a fraction of what they're paying somewhere else, they will swoop it from up under you with the cash offer. That's just what's going on. And Ashley, side note, I am not liking this blue confessional look. It ages you. I don't know what this is, but I do not like this look. Girl, you are a young lady. What is this? So Ashley is telling the realtor, that she has to see what Michael feels about the house because it could change because they're separating. So she was like, yeah, and I know it's going to affect, how we get our loan and this and that. So the realtor is like, well, I spoke to Michael and I also spoke to the lender and everything's in place. You're good. Ashley was like, oh, okay, really? Okay, great. Child, not Michael lying and not filling Ashley in on the lie. Oh, child, this is just a mess. So production is saying to Ashley, you seem surprised by what they said. And Ashley was like, yeah, I mean, him lying to me just makes me look at him sideways. But, I'm upset, but I can't just let it bog me down. Yeah, you ain't gonna let it bog you down because you're trying to make sure that he set you up before you leave him. And you want to make sure that you are set up in this house before you fully go through with it. You're not about to mess up your bag, honey. And you ain't gonna say nothing. And that's just that on that. So she's like, this is the first time that I'm going to be living by myself. This is what she's telling her brother. She's like, it's making it so real for me. So then she tries to muster up a tear, honey, but it's nothing coming out. I'm like, girl, goodbye. In the next scene, we head on over to Rob's new home. Robyn. This is nice. Girl, this is nice. It's beautifully decorated. That's great that Robyn pulled through, especially coming from season 1. Robyn was going through it season 1, honey. Baby, Robyn done got out of that bed, got in that podcast, and got herself together. So her and Juan, they started talking about this wedding picture that her mom sent her, right? Her mom is basically asking, when is the wedding happening? What y'all gonna do? Nothing, mama. So just go and keep the pictures to yourself, honey. Reminisce for old time's sake, because it ain't happening. And don't hold your breath. So then Robyn, slides in to talk about the prenup. So she's like, so what do you think about a prenup? He's like, what? What the hell are you talking about? He said, you know what? Do what you got to do. Because I make more money than you anyway. So I was a little bit confused. Now, he is a coach. So when Robyn said that like a few episodes ago, or episode 2 or 1, honey, we just on episode 3. I was thinking, doesn't Juan make more than Robyn does? But either way, it's either his ego is bruised or somebody lying. Okay, it's either one of them. So production was like, well, I mean, does he make more money than you? She was like, that's not what he said, is it? He didn't say that. Oh, yes, ma'am, he did. Okay, and quite confidently, might I add. He said it. She's like, that's not what this is about, though. I mean, he's like, well, why didn't it come up the first time? Why you didn't say nothing the first time? It did come up the first time because she signed a prenup the first time. She's like, well, I'm just doing this just in case because you never know. He was like, well, when we got divorced the first time, you didn't say nothing. And she was like, well, the first time things got ugly, you were dealing with somebody else. He's like, okay, stop, Robyn. Stop. Stop, Robyn. Juan don't never want to talk about the real. Juan, let us in, bruh. Okay, let us in. Every time she brings up the past, you shut down. We all know she telling the truth. You wasn't around to help raise them kids. You was cheating. You was out there in them streets when y'all were about to get divorced. You were doing you, allegedly. Okay, because I don't want Juan coming over here. I am so glad Juan Dixon is not here right now, child. I don't want him in my business. But y'all gonna have to talk about it sooner or later. Juan don't want to talk about it on camera because he knows he did Robyn wrong, child. And to be honest, these two are just co-parenting under the same roof because I don't see no sparks. Not none. Moving forward. In the next scene, Wendy goes to get her hair checked because it's falling out. And, the doctor is checking it and she's telling her that it's because of stress. And stress is the number one killer. That's why, now any sign of stress, if you causing me any kind of strife at all, I eliminate you. I eliminate the stress because stress causes all kinds of health issues and it is the number one silent killer. You ain't gonna kill me. So Wendy, you're gonna have to let some of that stuff go, girl, and just do your candles and whatnot. And go get you some of that Big Booty Judy miracle drops. Judy got the miracle. Judy, we need to get Wendy some of the miracle drops, honey. But no, in all seriousness, I am glad that you went to go get it checked out so you can see what your options are to help your hair grow back because, that's our crown. And no, we don't want to wear wigs 24/7. I mean, you have a nice head of hair, but it's just thinning at the top. And so we need to eliminate some of that stress. And don't be going over there getting no business with Peter, honey. That's going to be even more stress because sometimes Peter don't pay his bills, honey. Bar one, be bar none. Just don't do it. Okay, just don't do it. In the next scene, Mia goes to meet Robyn in this bedazzled velour hoodie, looking like she fresh out of carpool. I said, girl, what do you have on? Oh my goodness. So when Mia saw her, she gonna go, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to dress these days. No, ma'am. You dress right. It's Robyn. Robyn is ready to run some errands, honey. So they sit down and Robyn is telling her after the spring fling that she wants to make sure that they're good. And she was like, I just want to know what's going on because I'm a little bit confused. So she asked about Mia's second post. So Mia said, well, a lot has transpired since that second post. I had the biopsy and, everything's good. I just still have the lumps. So Robyn is like, so you had the biopsy but haven't had the lumps removed? She was like, no. So Robyn is still confused. And she's like, so see, yeah, that's where I'm getting confused at. She's like, it's snowballing because once you post, do you keep updating people? Here go Mia. No. Child, Robyn want an up to the minute medical minute update, honey. If you gonna say something, then say it. So in the confessional, Mia's like, I understand, I'm an open book. Well, girl, what page are we on in said book, honey? Because I can't follow. I need a table of contents or something, a bookmarker, because I can't follow what page we on in your open book. Girl, goodbye. So then Robyn is like, well, tell me about the lump. I was like, damn, bro. No wonder her and Giselle friends. Neither one of them got no tact. Mia's like, well, the lump is still there. You can see it if you'd like to see it. I think I just have an autoimmune disorder. Mia got a little iron problem. That's what you got. Now, I don't know about your lumps, your lovely lady humps, but I know you got a little iron problem. I do know that. So Robyn is like, well, in her confessional, I think the story just blew up in Mia's face. I'm just glad it isn't cancer. Okay, let's just move on. So then they start talking about Candiace. Why? I have no idea. Robyn, why are you talking about Candiace? So Mia's like, well, I mean, I saw her storming out like she was 12. She didn't storm out, Mia. She left because she was pissed that Giselle is accusing her husband of things that she doesn't think that he's doing, as she should. So she starts telling her about the Chris and Giselle thing, right? So Mia's like, well, I have something to add. She gonna say, at the party, Chris was staring at me and I was so uncomfortable. And I'm like, why are you staring at me? So baby, then they show Chris looking elsewhere. She's like, and then he kept doing it. They show Chris looking elsewhere again. Mia, you were looking at Chris, but Chris damn sure wasn't looking at you. Okay, let's just keep it real. You think Chris is a good looking man, which he is, and you were looking at him and you want to be in with the in crowd. So you're telling full on lies. Now, Candiace, this is a heifer I wouldn't want around me at all. She sat up there and lied just that quick. You made up an entire lie, girl. Thank God for production. Otherwise, y'all would have this man hemmed up against the wall. This is crazy. And also, Mia, you shouldn't have anything to add with the way that G acts when he gets drunk. Don't think I forgot when y'all went on that little vacation last year and the other ladies were there and everybody don't want you, okay? You did that same thing with Eddie last season. You feel like you're the gold standard of beauty and who could resist you? Girl, these men don't want you. You know who could resist you? Chris. That's who. Anyway, you just sat there and made that whole thing up. That is crazy. Mia be lying from the top of her head to the bottom of her size 14 feet. It's just a fool. This is somebody's marriage, girl. This ain't nothing to play with. Anyway, in the next scene, Giselle is coming to visit Karen. Child, not Karen pouring this Simply lemonade for Giselle to drink. Baby, Karen said the heifer getting Simply. Y'all remember when Portia went to visit Phaedra and Phaedra was in there churning up berries, honey. Grinding up berries and making homemade lemonade. Baby, all we see the grand dame doing is pouring that lemonade. Bloop, 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 bloop. Girl, I don't give her the Simply, honey. Karen said, you gonna get this country time. Girl, not the country time lemonade. So she's coming over to check on Karen because Karen didn't come. Girl, you ain't coming over there to check on Karen. You coming over there to see if she didn't come because of Sharice. Oh, messy tell self. So she's telling Karen about the dance class. And so she starts doing some moves, honey. I don't know what was going on. And Karen is like, well, you know, Ashley and Mia told me what was happening with you and Candiace, that y'all had a moment and that you were saying that you didn't feel uncomfortable with Chris. And I feel like Chris owes you an apology. An apology for what? Karen, do you still have a fever? Because what does Chris owe Giselle an apology for when she willingly let him in her room? And I'm just not understanding how this is all coming out just now. Over on the other side, Chris and Candiace, they go for lunch. Candiace, girl, I'm loving the natural hair. And she's telling him that the doctor is not pleased with her progress. It's going to get better. You know, it happens. It's going to get better. So she's like, you know, the stuff with Giselle is stressing me out. And I feel like it's affecting me producing eggs. So Chris was like, I'm really angered by the things that Giselle is saying, honey, as he should be. Because, you know, he looks to make them all comfortable, but he doesn't know what somebody has gone through before. So maybe Giselle did feel uncomfortable, but she's using loaded words and those make him upset. So he's telling Candiace that it was Giselle's idea to even go up to her room. He said he asked her if they could talk and she said, let's go up to my room. I'm not sure who said go up to the room, you or Giselle, but the bottom line is, Giselle, once you knew that Glam was not there and you knew you were going to be uncomfortable, you should have walked out into the hallway with him. So back over with Giselle and Karen, she's telling the exact opposite. So she said he wanted to talk to me and he said, let's go up to your room. Back with him and Candiace, he was like, I told her she could leave the door open. Back with Giselle and Karen, she's like, and I'm in this room and it's his word against mine. So Karen is like, wait a minute, girl. How did we get to that? How did we get to your word against his? Exactly, which is why you need all the facts before apologies are to be given. So she was like, I mean, y'all are friends. Did he touch you? She said no. She said, I just felt uncomfortable. So I asked him to go see if they were ready for me to come back, and he immediately left. Well, if he immediately left, Giselle, he wasn't trying to do anything with you. And if filming was still happening, why did y'all have to go all the way up to your room? Why couldn't y'all step into the hallway? Why couldn't you step to the side? Now listen, I understand you're in a closed room with a bed, okay? The optics aren't great. I understand that. But that could have easily been avoided. Back over with Chris, he's like, she's referencing my penis every chance she gets. Well, Candiace should have never brought up your brown peen to begin with. She led with that. As soon as she was introduced to these ladies, she starts talking about your privacy. Nobody should know about your private parts. Not nobody. You do not share what your man working with in the bed and how he moving in the bed. That ain't nobody's business. Okay? Especially your husband. Back over with Karen, she's recalling a husband hugging her too tight and she was uncomfortable. So she understands how Giselle feels and she feels like Giselle is justified. So Karen says she told Ray about it and she actually went to her pastor about it as well. And, they feel like the man had too much to drink. But that was 3 years ago. Now, Karen, you said 3 years ago just to throw us off your scent, honey, because you ain't fooling me. Okay? Because I remember last season, G hugging you a little bit too tight. And I was thinking to myself, G a little frisky. He seems very much into the grand dame. Now, you said there were witnesses around to see this. And y'all thought the man had too much to drink. Roll that tape back from last season with G. That's exactly the scenario that happened. Now, I can understand Karen wanting to cover it up, but for me, I feel like she was talking about G. Okay, some people think she's talking about Michael, but I think she's talking about G, honey. Michael was somewhere chasing around Juan, okay? So production was like, well, can we ask who it is? She said, no. Honey, I know that's right. So Karen said, well, you should not have brought that to the group, Giselle. Giselle said, I didn't bring it to the group. Robyn did. So Karen goes, oh, okay, so how do you feel about that? Child, Robyn told messages. She said, I haven't discussed it with Robyn yet. So in the confessional, Karen is like, yeah, I think there's a crack in their friendship. Girl, ain't no crack in that friendship. Robyn is being messy the same way Giselle was being messy when she said something about that house and Juan's name not being on it. They'll talk it out and they're going to be all right. Child, they are not about to break up their alliance for you heifers. They're just not about to do it. So then Giselle was like, I was thinking I was going to hear something from Candiace, telling me that Chris apologizes. Giselle, are you nuts? Why would she call you after you accused her husband of something like that? Why? She's like, it was wrong. If it was not wrong, I would not have felt it in my gut. It was just wrong. Ooh, child. Back over with Candiace and Chris, Robyn pops up. Now, I'm not sure if she was invited or what was going on because Candiace was like, oh, hey. And I'm like, how would she know your exact location? Did y'all invite her to what's happening, y'all? Anyway, Chris barely wants to get up and greet her. But Robyn is like, boy, if you don't get up, hug me. I'm not them. I'm cool with you. So Chris is looking at her like, why is you here? So Robyn is telling them that she's in a difficult position because she does not agree with Gizzard. It's okay, Robyn. You don't always have to group think. You have a right to disagree. It's okay. So Robyn is telling them that she told Ashley that Chris was just responding to the story. It was nothing like that. So then she brings up that Giselle did in fact share with her about the Jersey experience. And she told Giselle it wasn't that big of a deal. So Chris was like, listen, I try to be friendly with y'all. I don't ever go in for hugs. I wait for y'all to hug me. So Robyn is like, well, I don't think. She's like, oh my God, I'm uncomfortable. Candiace said, yes, she is. Okay, that's how she brought it to me. Like she was clutching her pearls because somebody tried to snatch her drawers. Honey, yes, she did. Which is some BS because at the spring fling, why were you all in Chris's face? Where was all that then? That's exactly how I feel about it, Candiace. And then why did you wait months? Okay, you waited until the camera started rolling so you would have something to talk about. So you could deflect from the fact that ain't nothing going on outside the Etch-a-Sketch house. Girl, and you ain't fooling me. So Robyn said, well, how can we fix it? Candiace said, well, she got to walk it all the way back for me because she is dead to me. Ooh, child. And that was the end of the episode. Baby, I don't know exactly what's going to go down with Candiace and Giselle, but Candiace, you need to watch Mia as well. Okay, because when she get over there with Robyn and Giselle, she trying to fit in. So she's saying stuff that she knows is not true. And this is ridiculous. Your best bet would be to just hang with Wendy. I wouldn't even trust Ashley. Okay, I would just hang with Wendy and go on about my business and leave these heifers in the dust. I don't know how the dynamics are about to change, but child, it's about to get good. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.